Okay, let's talk about gold. After that massive, incredible rally, we were all expecting, well, more, right? But instead, we've just been stuck. It's this frustrating sideways grind. So what gives? Is the big move done, or is there something else going on here? We're going to decode this whole thing.
And this is the question on everyone's mind, right? I mean, you saw that unbelievable move up. Maybe you were lucky enough to be in on it, but now? Crickets. It just feels stuck. No direction, super confusing, and honestly, it's just exhausting to watch. So is the party really over, or is there something else happening that we're not seeing?
Well, here's the thing about the markets. The real story? It's almost never about the day-to-day noise. The truth is usually hiding just behind the numbers, in the actual structure of the trend. So today, we're going to peel back that curtain and show you a classic pattern that explains exactly what's happening right now. And that hidden pattern? It's called the fourth wave. Now, once you get this, all that confusion starts turning into clarity. So let's dive in and break it down.
Okay, so this whole idea comes from something called Elliott Wave Theory. And the basic concept is actually pretty simple. Big uptrends tend to happen in 5 waves. You've got waves 1, 3, and 5. Those are the big, powerful moves up. And then you have waves 2 and 4, which are the pullbacks, the corrections. And that huge rally we all just witnessed, yeah, that was a textbook wave 3.
Which, you guessed it, brings us right to where we are now, the fourth wave. And just look at that description. It's known as the most complex and time-consuming one for a reason. Its whole job isn't to create a sharp drop. It's to create this long, grinding, sideways mess to frustrate people and shake out anyone who's impatient. Does that sound at all familiar?
And this is where things get really interesting, where that counterintuitive thinking really pays off. See, this frustrating grind, it's not just one thing. It has 2 completely different faces. Depending on how you're playing the game, this exact same period can either be a terrifying trap or an absolute gold mine. So this fourth wave usually plays out in 3 parts, what we call an ABC pattern. First up, you've got the A wave, which is that first drop from the top. Simple enough. But then you get the B wave, and this is the really tricky part. It's a deceptive rally, a total bull trap that makes everyone think the coast is clear and we're going back up. But it's not. And that leads to the C wave, the final drop that often goes even lower than the first one. It's designed to just crush everyone's confidence, but, and this is so important, it's also what creates the absolute best buying opportunity. Yeah, let's just pause on this for a second because it's so critical. That B wave rally, it is a classic textbook bull trap. If you're a short-term trader, this is not your signal to jump back in. No way. It's your signal to take profits and get out. Seriously, getting this one right can save you a world of hurt. And this right here perfectly sums up the 2 completely different ways to look at this. The short-term trader, they see this whole fourth wave phase as a minefield. They use that B wave bounce to cash out and they just stay away. But the long-term investor, oh, they have a totally different perspective. To them, the B wave is just noise. And that final scary C wave drop, that's not a disaster. That's the golden pit. It's the absolute best time to start buying and accumulating for the next huge move up. Okay, so let's say that's you. You've got that long-term mindset. So how do you actually navigate this? Well, there's a really smart counterintuitive strategy that is practically designed for a confusing market like this one. The strategy is actually a 2-part punch. First, you've got systematic, regular investing. You just keep buying at set intervals to average out your cost. Second, and this is key, you actively buy the dips. That means when that scary C wave hits and everyone is freaking out, you see it as a sale. You're accumulating at a discount. The whole goal here is both about money and mindset. You're smoothing out your entry price, sure, but you're also training yourself to be brave when everyone else is scared.
Hey, just a quick pause. If you're finding this explainer valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps a ton, and it means you won't miss what's coming next. Okay, so you have this strategy, but to actually pull it off, you need one more crucial ingredient.
And that ingredient is confidence. And luckily, the big picture gives us plenty of reasons to be confident. I mean, you've got central banks all over the world buying gold like crazy. You've got the Fed pretty much telegraphing a friendlier interest rate policy for precious metals ahead. And you know, the world is still a pretty uncertain place, which always keeps gold in the spotlight as a safe haven. These aren't just small things. These are major tailwinds.
So how does all of this come together for the next big move? Well, it starts with a shift in thinking. You have to understand that this difficult, grinding phase, It isn't a mistake. It's not a bug. It's a feature. It's something the market absolutely has to go through to get ready for what's coming.
And here is the absolute best way to picture it. Think of this fourth wave as a deep squat before a massive jump. All this boring sideways action, that's the market coiling up, building potential energy. It's getting rid of all the nervous sellers and consolidating its strength for that next explosive launch higher. The big one, the fifth wave.
You know, there's a quote from our source material that just nails this entire idea. It says, "Don't be greedy in the B wave rally, and don't be fearful in the C wave deep dive. Long-term, regular investment is the winning strategy." It really is all about having the right mindset for the right moment.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one final question to think about. The next time the market feels like an impossible, grinding, difficult mess, just stop and ask yourself, is this the peak of risk, or is this the very beginning of a huge opportunity? How you answer that question will probably determine everything. Thanks for joining me.